What if the deadliest conflict in human history, World War II, didn't start in 1939, but erupted today, in 2025? Imagine the Axis powers launching their massive offensives, but armed not just with the weapons of the 20th century, but with today's most advanced military technologies, fighters that vanish from radar, swarms of drones hunting infantry like mechanical predators, cyber warriors dismantling communications mid-battle, and hypersonic missiles that can level entire divisions in seconds. Could the Blitzkrieg still blitz through Europe? Would the Soviet Union hold its ground with cutting-edge tanks, missile defenses, and cyber forces? Or would modern warfare turn the conflict into something faster, deadlier, and utterly unrecognizable? Today, we're going to step into this alternate reality to explore Operation Barbarossa, the largest land invasion in history, as it might unfold in 2025. Armed with the technology of tomorrow and the ambitions of the past. June 22, 2025. The border of Belarus and Russia is alive with tension like never before. Where in 1941 German troops once assembled with radios and maps, the armies of 2025 prepare with digital command centers and satellite-fed augmented reality displays. Soldiers equipped with exoskeletons ready themselves as engineers finalize the last cyber defense perimeter, and drone operators gaze at multiple real-time feeds on ultra-wide curved monitors. The German military has evolved massive armored columns of Leopard 2A7 main battle, tanks with reactive composite armor, and remote weapon systems line the edge of the forest. Infantry ride in Puma infantry fighting vehicles, while tactical drones, some as small as birds, others as large as seagulls, escort the formation, scanning ahead and relaying intelligence back to commanders in near instantaneous time. But this time, there is no chance of surprise. Russian satellites have tracked the German units for weeks. Communications, traffic analysis, sensor feeds, even cyber surveillance foreshadow the assault. Russian commanders in Moscow are waiting prepared to defend with a lethal mix of modern missiles, drones, and electronic warfare. At precisely 4:30, German cyber warfare units launch their first strikes. Simultaneously, a storm of hypersonic missiles streak across the dawn sky, targeting Russian forward command posts, radar arrays, and ammunition depots spread through the dense forests and plains. The launch is coordinated through a quantum-encrypted network, allowing generals in Berlin to command strikes in real time and adjust to battlefield changes in seconds. The missiles strike with deadly precision, obliterating sensors and wreaking havoc on supply lines. But it's only the start. As the missiles descend, German combat drones of every size and purpose deploy. Reconnaissance drones zip ahead, scanning for enemy positions using infrared and radar imaging, feeding raw sensor data to command AI systems that analyze thousands of variables in milliseconds, suggesting where to strike next. Loitering munitions circle above Russian lines, waiting for sensors to detect moving vehicles, soldiers, or heat signatures, then dive with precision-guided explosives. Often these drones are launched from stealthy Eurofighter Typhoons and tornado jets orbiting hundreds of kilometers away, their pilot HUDs flooded with layers of intelligence. But the Russian military has modernized too. Miles inland, Russian S-400 and S-500 missile batteries were to life. Their radar arrays, firing pulses over the steppe as operators ready to disrupt and destroy incoming threats. Russian anti-drone shields deploy electronic interference fields, attempting to scramble German signals and force autonomous vehicles to crash or turn away. Supersonic interceptors launch against hypersonic missiles, creating trails of fire amid the clouds. On the ground, Russian T-1 for Armatas roll forward, their composite armor and PS-active protection systems designed to detect and intercept incoming anti-tank rockets. They are flanked by squads wielding new-generation tactical exoskeletons, camera zoom helmets, smart rifles with eye-assisted targeting, and kinetic shielding. UAVs controlled by Russian operators provide overlapping coverage, scanning enemy troop movements, and even identifying weak points through thermal imaging and electronic signature detection. The battle quickly escalates, resembling a futuristic storm of steel and electrons. German armored columns advance quickly, blending decades' worth of mechanized doctrine with modern data analytics. Each Leopard to a 7-tanks gunner is augmented by AI providing firing solutions, wind correction, and optimal target prioritization in real time. Russian tanks and their support vehicles do the same. Artillery units on both sides use counter-battery, radar and drones to automatically locate enemy artillery and direct precise retaliation within seconds of the first shot. The ground. Fights are interwoven with cyber warfare. Russian hackers attempt to break into German communications networks, hoping to disrupt command and damage coordination. German cyber teams defend ferociously and launch their own retaliatory strikes aimed at Russian logistics software and GPS navigation signals. When the first firefight erupts, the physical and digital merge. German infantry squad commanders see a live 3D map in their helmet display, showing enemy locations and drone feeds. Russian defenders attempt to mask movements and communications with advanced electronic warfare devices. But the din of unmanned drones scanning interceptors streaking overhead, and the thunder of auto-loading cannons is incessant. As the summer fight turns into autumn, the infamous Russian winter approaches, a relentless enemy of history. But 2025 warfare has mitigated much of winter's bite. Soldiers wear heat-regulated, insulated exoskeleton suits keeping limbs warm in sub-zero temps. Autonomous drones deliver food, water, and medical supplies over frozen rivers and through snowstorms. Guided by radar and inertial navigation systems immune to jamming. Still, winter strains machines and men alike. Electronic systems freeze, batteries weaken, tracked vehicles wrestle ice and snow. Soldiers on both sides deal with slips, equipment failures, and bitter cold. The brutal test of old now faces a new technological edge. But the human factor remains critical. The war evolves from brute force to a chess match. The side better able to control the cyber and satellite realm gains advantage. Satellites orbiting above facilitate communications and targeting, but they are also prime targets for anti-satellite missiles and cyber sabotage. Both sides deploy laser systems and interceptor missiles to defend these priceless assets. Commanders coordinate combined arms operations, controlled by AI-assisted battle management systems with split-second decision speeds beyond human reaction times. Yet, despite all technology, mistakes and human decisions remain. A single tactical blunder, misread intel, or cyber breach can mean losing a whole battalion or forfeit an entire sector. After months of intense conflict, the front lines fluctuate wildly, not with the slow trench warfare of old, but with sudden breakthroughs and costly counterattacks enabled by drone strikes and cyber disruption. Question isn't if one side will win, but who can adapt faster to an ever-shifting digital battlefield. With nuclear forces still a looming threat, and the battles waged not just on land but in orbit and cyberspace, victory could come quickly or bring unimaginable destruction. Reflection and final thoughts. Operation Barbarossa, rewritten for 2025, is a tale of unprecedented speed, technology, and lethality. Yet beneath the drones, satellites, and cyber attacks remains the timeless reality, the bravery, sacrifice, and tragedy of war. Would modern technology prevent the horror or magnify it beyond comprehension? If this vision of a future turned past fascinates, share your thoughts below. What battle should we reimagine next? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest what-ifs of history. History isn't set in stone. It's waiting for us to rethink it.